Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where we are going to be going over the quiz portion of the Select Basics on SQL Zoo. This is a part of the SQL tutorial that's offered in this website, so let's get started. Okay, to answer these questions we can see that this is the table that we're going to be using. Come down to number 1, it says select the code that produces this table. So just by looking at this, we can see that our select statement is going to contain the name column and the population column. And we can see that population, the values for population are most likely going to be used in our where clause as a filter. So let's come down here and we can see we need to remember the structuring of queries, and we need to remember that they always start with a select statement. So this is incorrect. This is incorrect, and also the fifth one is incorrect. Let's look at these two. So the fourth one, we can see it says select population. Well, that's going to be incorrect as well because it's missing our name column. The third one starts with a select statement, name, comma, population, so that's all correct, from the world table, where population between 100,000 and 125,000. So if we look here, we can see these are all between 100 and 125,000. I think this should be the correct answer. Let's come down to question number 2. Pick the result that you would obtain from this code. Again, we're looking for a result that's going to give us 2 columns. So this is not going to be a part of it. This is not going to be a part of it. But potentially the second, the fourth, and the fifth option may be. From the world table, where name, like, in double quotes, AL, parenthesis sign. So to help explain this to you, I need you to understand that the like operator is used in SQL to search for a specified pattern in a column. It's typically used to filter rows where string value matches that specific pattern. So for example, in this case, it's telling us where name, like, in double quotes, AL, parentheses. To help you understand better, the parentheses behind the 2 letters is telling us that it's asking where the name begins with AL. If the parentheses was behind it, that means it's asking us where the name is like ending in AL. Now what if we want a word where AL is somewhere in between, anywhere inside the word, anywhere inside the word, you'd have a parentheses before and after. But because this is after, it's asking us, we're looking for a name that begins with AL. So let's look at table B over here. Well, this is going to be incorrect because the names of the countries are starting with a parenthesis sign, and that's not possible. Let's look at table C. We can see that this is also incorrect because the name of the country is AL. This would be incorrect because in order for this to be what we're needing, it would be where name equals AL. This is asking if a name is like starting with AL. So if we come here, we can see, okay, we have Albania and its population. But if we look at table E, we can see that this is also correct and would actually be considered the correct answer, because if we select Albania only, it would mean that we are disregarding Algeria, which would be incorrect because both Albania and Algeria start with AL. So this would be the correct option. I hope that makes sense. Let's go to question number 3, and it asks us, select the code which shows the countries that end in A or L. This is very important to look at right here. It's asking us if they end in A or L, not A and L, because a word can't end in 2 letters. It can only end in 1 letter, so it's either or. So we can see here that the structure of our queries on all options are correct. They start with a select statement, then a from, and the where clause. So let's check the first one. It says select name, okay, from world, where name, like, in single quotes, A, parentheses. We can already stop Because if we look at the question number 2, we can remember that if the parentheses is after the letter or letters, that means this is talking about the beginning of the word, or we can say the name of the country. We're looking to show the names of countries that end. So we need the parentheses to be in the beginning of this. Let's go to the second option. We can see we're dealing with the same issue here. Let's come down to the third option and we can see, okay, we have select name from world where name like, okay, single quotes, parentheses A. But here we have a problem. And name like. Remember, the name can only end in either or, not both. So we can't use the and operator. We have to use the or operator. Let's come down to the fourth option. Select name from world where name like, single quotes, percentage sign A, or single quotes, the letter, and then percent sign after. So this would also be incorrect because this would be saying ending in A or beginning in L. That's not what we're asking. We're asking if the name ends in A or ends in L. Let's look at the last option. Select name from world where name like, ending in A, or, perfect, name like, ending in L. So this is going to be the correct answer. Let's come down to question number 4, and it asks us to pick the result from this query. Select name, comma, length name from world where length name equals 5 and region equals Europe. So let me explain to you what's going on here. So we're selecting 2 columns. We're selecting the name column, and then we're also, in a sense, creating a sub-column or an extra column that is counting the number of characters, because the length function is used to return a number of characters in a string. So if you look at our results here, we're searching for the name column, but then also next to it we want to know how many characters are in the name from the world table. But this is where we're going to filter our results. We want the names of countries where the length of name is only 5 characters, and also it's within the region of Europe, so it has to be a European country. Well, we can come here and we can look that these countries, yes, the length of the name is 5 characters, but they're not European countries. Let's come down here and we can see again that Egypt is not a European country. Let's come down here and we can see, okay, Italy, Malta, and Spain. If you know your European countries, you know that these are all European countries. And also we can see that the length of name, the length of characters in the name column are all 5. So this should be correct, but let's double check everything. Okay, so we've got Italy, France, and Spain. These are all European countries, but we can see that France's name has 6 characters. So this is incorrect. Same for the last option, Sweden, Norway, and Poland. All of these names have 6 characters. So the third option is the correct answer. Let's come down to the 5th question, and it tells us here are a few rows. Here are the first few rows from the world table. Pick the result you would obtain from this code. Select name, okay, comma, area times 2. So we know that we're going to request the name of the country and its area, but not only the value of its area from the table, but the value of its area multiplied by 2. From world, where the population also equals 64,000, specifically 64,000. So if we ran this query, what result would we get? Well, we would get Andorra, okay? And the way we know that is because by looking here, Andorra is the only country that has a population of 64,000. So it won't be the last option, it'll be one of these 4. But how do we know which one to pick? Well, it's going to be in this right here. Well, we can see that the area of Andorra is 468 square kilometers. But that's not what it's asking for. Remember, it says area multiplied by 2. So 2 times 468 is 936. So we would make the third option the correct answer. Let's come to the sixth question. That tells us select the code that would show the countries with an area larger than 50,000 and a population smaller than 10 million. Okay, so select name, area, and population from world, where area, see, this is, we can already tell it's incorrect because area less than, if you know your less than and minus than signs, you would know that this is incorrect. So it's not the first option. Let's come down to the second option, name area. So select name, area, and population from world. Again, where area is less than 50,000. So this is incorrect. We don't need to look any further. Let's look at the third option. Select name, area, and population from world, okay, where area is greater than 50,000. Okay, this is a good sign. And population is less than 10 million. Well, that's what we were looking for right there. So it seems that this is the correct answer. But let's take a look at the last two just to understand what's going on. Select name, area, and population from world, where area is greater than 50,000 and population is greater than 10 million. So this would be incorrect because we're looking for countries whose population is less than 10 million. The last option is select name, area, and population from world, where area equals 50,000 and population equals 10 million. It's not asking us if it for countries where it equals 50,000. It's asking us to look for countries where its area is greater than 50,000 and its population is less than 10 million, which is why the third option would be the correct answer for this. Let's look at number 7, which I believe is the last question in this quiz. And it asks us to select the code that shows the population density of China, Australia, Nigeria, and France. And just to verify, population density can be defined by population divided by land area. So that's a formula that you need to remember. So if we come back over here, we can see that select name and area divided by population. So that's going to be incorrect. Same thing for the second option, select name, area divided by population. So this is going to be incorrect as well. Let's come to the third option, select name, comma, population divided by area. Okay, this looks promising from the world table, where name in China, Nigeria, France, and Australia. Okay, this looks pretty promising. Let's click it in the meantime and check the other answers. The fourth option says select name, population over area, which is correct from the world table, where name like. That's where it makes this option incorrect because name like is used only for a single string. It can't be used to check for multiple multiple values in the name column. You have to use the in operator, which is used to filter rows, which again, like we said, it basically simplifies our OR condition. Let's look at the last option, select name and population from world, where name in China, Nigeria, France, and Australia. So what makes this incorrect is this will only give us the population. It won't give us the population density, which again will make the third option the correct answer. And we can score our list, we can check it, and we can see that we got 7 out of 7 correct. So hopefully this helped you guys a little bit. I know sometimes looking at these, it helps to look at a video and have someone break it down to you, speaking and explaining it. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Please give it a like or a thumbs up, and look forward to being able to provide you guys more videos on this SQL tutorial and SQL Zoo. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day.